Cell division. All organisms, no matter how big or how small, no matter how humble or how great, die eventually. Yet still, life goes on. And the reason is that cells divide to produce new cells. And it is these new cells which make up for the loss of the death of the older cells. In the case of singular-celled organisms, cells divide in two main ways. Please remember, we are limiting the discussion to those cells which contain nuclei, or in other words, we are limiting the discussion to eukaryotic cells. The two main methods of division in cells with a nucleus is mitosis and meiosis. In mitosis, the DNA inside the cell replicates, the cell gradually stretches to become larger and larger, and then the cell splits into two daughter cells. In this case, since the DNA is already replicated inside the cell, each daughter cell contains one full copy of the DNA of the mother cell. In other words, there is no loss in the amount of DNA among these two cells. Most cells in the human body and outside divide through mitosis. Another method of division which is more complicated is meiosis. Among humans and most other organisms, there are some specialized cells called germ cells. Germ cells are responsible for reproduction in higher organisms. Please do not confuse germ cells with the germs that we find which cause diseases. These cells divide by a different process called meiotic division. In meiotic division, there is a greater number of replications and a single cell will split not into two but into four daughter cells. There is also another difference here. While in the case of mitosis, each daughter cell gets a full copy of the DNA from the mother cell, in the case of meiotic division, each of the four daughter cells get only half of the DNA of the mother cell. The chromosome number in the case of meiosis is halved in the daughter cells. In other words, the daughter cells get only half the chromosomes from the parent cell. On the other hand, in mitosis, the entire DNA gets replicated in its entirety and given to both daughter cells, so they will have the same chromosome number as the mother cell.